In this video, I'm going to do a quick virtual tour of the lab for Intro to PLCs. So on the test stations, you have on the left-hand side a ControlLogix PLC. We don't use those in this class. We focus on the SLC 500 series. There's a power box directly below the PLCs where you can turn either the ControlLogix indicated by CLX PLC on, or you can turn the SLC or SLC PLC on. So either one, depending on which one you're working with, but for all of the labs in Intro to PLCs, we'll be using the SLC 505s. Next, we have the Ethernet communication switch. So this is where all of the PLCs connect to the workstations. It's just an unmanaged switch, so no port assignment or configuration. It's just a pass-through for all of the devices on the network. Next, we have our I/O stations. So from here, you can do a variety of different things. There's an emergency stop that you can push. There's several input-output buttons. So these will both, you can monitor an input using the I address, or you can energize an output using the O address. So this can be either or both. We also have some single pole, single throw switches. So these are also addressed with the I. These are inputs. So turning that to the right will energize the input. Turning it to the left will de-energize. There's also some milliamp signals, which we get into a little bit later in the class. But these you can drive a current signal to the PLC. At 100%, this will be 20 milliamps, and at 0%, this will be 4 milliamps. You can also connect external analog inputs. We typically don't get into that in this class, but we will get into analog configuration. This is an analog output display, so you can send an analog signal from the PLC to this display and cause the dial to move from left to right depending on the current that's provided by the PLC. We can also show milliamps using this LED screen. And lastly, we have two motors that will spin when they're energized. So when output 14 is true, this will spin. When output 15 is true, this will spin. Now, as far as the rest of the lab, all of the stations are virtually identical. Some of the specific configurations might vary. Some use COM port 3 for serial communication and some use COM port 4. But they're all virtually identical. And we have 14 stations total, 15 including the instructor station. And we typically have a maximum number of 21 students per class. And just doing a walkthrough, you can see that there's plenty of space for at least 2 students per station. Some stations might have 3, just depending on who you're working with and how full the class is. Right in the middle of the class, there's several large Festo stations. So these are, they can be a filtering station, mixing station, so just different stations here. They're using the MicroLogix series of PLCs. This is a MicroLogix 1500, and it's also programmed using the RSLogix 500 software. So same software, slightly different footprint, but also a modular design with some fixed I/O that come with the CPU. This is generally a more inexpensive option. So if you have smaller applications, the MicroLogix series is usually the way to go. And if your application is larger, then you might consider either the CompactLogix or ControlLogix, which are both programmed with Studio 5000. Generally, we don't cover programming these stations in this class, but if you feel adventurous, you can explore operating any of these stations.